Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do a little appreciation video and kind of like a goodbye to Aether Beauty, who, I don't know if you saw my post, they are after 5 years closing down, which is really sad. They're kind of a really beautiful brand, very much clean beauty, natural ingredients, and the packaging fully sustainable, recyclable and all that fun stuff. Unfortunately they are going to be closing down and will be no more. So yeah, I wanted to actually do a quick little video. I'm going to use all the products that I've purchased from Aether Beauty. So I've got 5 palettes. Do I have 6? So I've got 5 of the eyeshadow palettes, and yes, I will be using the Joshua Tree for today and 2 of their highlighters. I would have loved to have tried their lip products and mascara. Unfortunately I never had the chance. I mean, they're doing a big closing down sale, so you never know, but obviously for the UK there's custom charges and all sorts, so it is slightly trickier getting hold of the products here. But yeah, I really love the brand, I really love the palettes I use, and it's such a shame they're having to close down. And I wish the founder all the best, and hopefully in the future maybe there'll be something new coming our way. But I wanted, I'm going to play with each of the palettes today, do a look from each one. They may be looks I've done before on this channel with those palettes, but it's going to be more like a go-to look that I would do with each palette and just kind of show them off before they disappear completely. So I hope that sounds like something you're interested in. If it is, please keep on watching. First up is probably one of my most used palettes out of all of them, and it's the Aether Beauty Solstice palette. So the perfect palette for the summer months that's coming up. Really nice warm browns, perfect for warm smoky eyes for the summer. For me, for my blue eyes, it really helped make them pop. So yeah, really kind of my go-to. You can see I'm hitting pan here, and yeah, I'm going to start with this palette first. For the looks, I use my Lily Lolo eye primer as I usually do. So kicking off with the one that I'm hitting pan on, so Stare. I'm going to take this first. And this is going to go, I'm going to pat this onto the outer portion of my lid. Okay, next go in with the shade Balance on a fluffy brush. I'm going to start blending that shade out. So you can see some nice warm rich tones with this palette. Then go in with the shade Soul next, same fluffy brush. I'm going in with a further blend. And then on a nice big fluffy brush, going to take the shade New Moon just here and just do a final blend. And now for the lid, I'm going to go in with the shade Amber just here. This is going to go in the inner portion of the lid. And then taking the shade Citrine, and this is going to go in the inner corner. I'm going to load up my lashes with the Lily Lolo Big Lash. I think I'm actually going to add a touch of red on the lips, so I'm going to take the Kosas lip oil in Jaws. Just add a soft pop of red. And that is this look complete. So like I said, probably my most used palette, just because of such the warm tones. They suit my eye shade. And yeah, I really kind of like this real smoky, warm toned eye that I've got going on. And as we're heading into the summer season, it's perfect. So yeah, this is the Solstice palette, and like I said, my most used palette. So the next palette I'm going to play with from Aether Beauty is the Rose Quartz palette, and I think this is actually the first Aether Beauty palette I got. So yeah, really pretty. This is very much pinky, grey, cool tone, smoky eyes. So if you're someone who loves your cool tones, this is definitely the palette for you, and a nice mixture of kind of mattes and shimmers in here. I'm going to do a very cool tone smoky eye with this, so let's get into it. Start with the shade Grounded first on a blending brush. I'm going to pack this onto the outer portion of the lid. I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush. I'm going to go in with Aphrodite now, so a slightly lighter grey shade. I'm going to use that to start blending out that darker grey. Okay, I'm then going to go in with Rose Quartz just down here. I'm going to take it on a shading brush. I'm going to pop in this inner corner here. I'm not going to go all the way into the inner corner. So I've got another shade I want to pop there, but just kind of 2/3 in. Thank you. Love you. I'm just going to feather it into the grey. It's kind of like a classic smoky eye from light to dark with this. And the final shade I'm going to use is the shade Stardust. It's a really pretty kind of light pink shade. And I'm going to use that just to really brighten the inner corner. And then just to pair with it, Whisper Lip Gloss by Lily Lolo. And that is this look complete. So yeah, this is my first Aether Beauty palette that I got. Really nice and cool toned. I think it gives quite a nice, although grey's give a much softer smoky eye as opposed to black, which is quite nice. Like a nice soft, almost like elegant smoky eye I think this gives. So yeah, I love this palette, and yeah, like I said, it's my first one I got from Aether Beauty. Okay, so on to the next palette in this Aether Beauty appreciation video. It is the Joshua Tree Desert Matte Palette. Now, first of all, I mean, the packaging is beautiful. Now, unfortunately, this is the one palette that I've got which didn't quite work for me. So if I show you the colours. So here are the colours, a real cool mix of shades, some really kind of interesting shades as well. When I first saw this palette, I was really excited because I thought it'd be a really nice way of introducing colour to someone who's not really used colour much and is a bit intimidated by the really bright colours. This has got some really nice muted shades in here that are really pretty. I struggle to blend some together and to create overall looks with this, so I don't reach this palette that often at all. But I did want to feature it in this video because I know a lot of people do really like this palette as well. And like I said, it is really pretty. The shades are really pretty, and it's something a bit different from Aether Beauty I thought as well. It just, unfortunately, this one didn't quite work for me. I'm going to do quite a simple look with this one. Probably a bit of like a smoked winged liner look I think would be good. So I'm going to go in with a little pencil brush. I am going to take the shade Wildflower. This is kind of one that I was really intrigued in by, this is the one that I was most intrigued by when I first got the palette. So I'm going to take some of this on a pencil brush. So take a bit at a time to slowly build up the colour. It's just something simple like that. I'm just going to do the same on the other eye. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. So it's a really nice kind of purpley blue shade, really pretty. These shades work really nicely individually. I just had trouble kind of blending them together, but yeah, that's a really pretty shade. I'm then going to take the shade Rosewood, again on a pencil brush. And I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. What I'm going to do is take the shade Pixie Rock and just pop that in the inner corner, just to give a real subtle highlight in the inner corner. With a nice soft lip, so I'm just going to take Peach from Benecos. Okay, and that is this look using the Joshua Tree palette Dan. So something very simple. Like I said, individually the colours are really pretty and work really nicely. For me, I just struggle to blend them together and create overall looks, but I know a lot of people did like this palette, so I really wanted to include it, and it's super pretty packaging. So yeah, so this is the Joshua Tree palette. Okay, so the next one. So if you like your real dark, bold, smoky eyes, purple shades, then this is the palette. This is the Amethyst palette. So yeah, some nice touches of purple, some deeper shades to create a real smoke to the eyes. So this is the next palette I'm going to play with. I am going to do a kind of relatively dark smoky eye with a hint of purple. So I'm going to take Pisces first, which is a real dark metallic purple. And I'm going to build this up all over my lid. This is nice if you're like an alternative to a black smoky eye, because it's almost looking black, but it's a real just dark, rich purple metallic. It's a kind of nice alternative. Okay, what I'm going to do is just very carefully, same brush but no extra product, start blending the edges. And I'm not going to bring it too far up, I'm more just going to go back and forth to start softening before I go in with anything else. On a fluffy brush, you're going to go in with shade Meditation just here. A nice matte, kind of neutral nude shade. And just do a light kind of blend of this, just to further blend. And finally, just take a real big fluffy brush that's clean, no product, do a final sweep over. I'm going to actually take the shade Transcendent here on my finger. This is a bit of a duochrome shadow. It looks purple, but in certain lights it's a hint of green almost. I'm just going to pop some right onto the centre of the lid. Just add a little bit more shimmer. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Crown Chakra. And keep it a bit lighter on the lower lash line so it's not all too heavy. I'm going to take a pop of Psychic just to deepen up the outer portion ever so slightly on the lower lash line. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to mix Third Eye with some of Mystic, just to create a real nice light purple shimmer for the inner corner. Keeping the lips pretty simple, going in a little Whisper lip gloss. And that is this look complete. So if you like your dark colours, your purples, smoky eyes, this was the palette to use. So yeah, it's a nice deep dark purple smoky eye. So I do love this palette as well. Really pretty but much more dramatic palette. Okay, so the next palette is the Moonlight palette, which is possibly my favourite palette of all of them. I absolutely love blues, greens, purples to play with on the eyes, and this colour really fits my criteria. Yeah, super pretty. This is the latest, kind of my newest palette out of all of them. Yeah, I love the packaging. This is one of their newer packagings that they had. So without the elastic and more of a fold over. But yeah, this is the palette, super pretty, super pretty. So I'm going to do one of my ultimate favourite looks to do with this, so like a big graphic shadow wing, using greens, blues, purples. So, now this palette doesn't have the names on the back, it came with an insert which I don't have anymore, so I don't know the names. But I'm going to go in with this purple shade first, onto the outer portion of the lid. And bring it slightly above the crease, and then do a little wing. I kind of do this first bit a bit messy. It's more about getting the colour on because I very much neaten up and get the shape I want after I've laid down all the colours. Okay, next we're going to go into possibly my favourite shade out of the palette, which is this bluey green here. Absolutely gorgeous. And actually I did a look with kind of this all over the lid with this pearl on top, and I actually got reposted by Aether Beauty to kind of promote this palette, which was really exciting. Yeah, this is definitely my favourite colour of the palette. This is going to go in the centre section. Again, it's more about packing the colour as opposed to precision at this moment in time. Okay, and next is going to be this gorgeous, like kind of shimmery lighter green. Okay, now to tidy up and create the shape, I'm going to take my Lily Lola eye primer, a little small brush like this, coat the brush, and I'm now going to go and kind of create the shape I want. Now I try to do it in kind of one motion because I find I get the better shape and it gets a little bit not so messy. See, I really like that shape here. Just tidy up at the edge. And then you can just blend the eye primer in. That's why I prefer using eye primer because it's, well, especially this one, it's slightly thinner than concealer. So it's easier to blend into the rest of the eye. Just give it a bit of a neat and a tidy up. And that's the one I've done. Now the trick is just try to do the same with the other eye obviously, but what I will do is if they don't look quite even, I probably won't touch them up because the more even I try and make them, the worse they look. So again, very much going to try and do it in a one sweeping line, and that's definitely not quite the same, but we're going to go with it. Just going to load up my lashes. Just keeping it super simple with the lips because it's very much all about the eyes. Lily Lola Whisper Lip Gloss. So that is the Moonlight palette. Like I said, it's my favourite palette out of all of them. Just because I love the colours. This is kind of my favourite style of eye to do. This side always turns out, I think, better than this side. But like I said, if I try and mess with it and try and neaten them up, it goes really wrong. So I just kind of go with it and leave it as it is. But yeah, I absolutely love this palette, and it's definitely one that I will still continue to use after Aether Beauty is gone because I absolutely love it. I'll still use them all to be honest, but this is just my favourite palette of all of them. Okay, and just to finish off this little appreciation video, I'm going to quickly pop on the two highlighters that I have from them. So I've got Pure Diamond Dust. It's definitely more of an icy highlighter, very, very pigmented. And then Pink Diamond Dust, it's slightly more of a peachy, pinky toned highlighter. So I do mainly use these on my eyes at the moment because I'm kind of much more into my cream based products, but very, very pretty, like I said. So I'm going to start with Pure Diamond Dust. Very, very pigmented, as you will be about to see. I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush. This one almost gives a bit of a wet look to the skin, so yeah. Yes, like I said, it's quite an icy diamond shade, as the name suggests. Pink Diamond Dust, so yeah, it's a bit more of a pinky peachy tone, not quite as intense as Pure Diamond Dust, and it gives a bit more of, yeah, like I said, that rose goldy tone is what I'd call it. Really, really pretty. And actually this one kind of works nicely as a blush topper. I mean, it's still definitely giving me that glow like Pure Diamond Dust does, but yeah. Okay, so that's my little appreciation kind of series. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've tried Aether Beauty and what your favourite products were below. Like I said, I think Moonlight and Solstice are my favourite palettes, definitely. And yeah, I wish the founder all the best for the future. It's such a shame it's having to come to an end with Aether Beauty because I really enjoyed the brand. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this little series, and thank you so much for watching.